Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about the NFL division round and my picks for the AFC and NFC Championship games this week. Check it out. First, before I get to my thoughts, I want to say my congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers for winning the college football playoff championships. So that's pretty good. Well, championship, excuse me. But anyways, that being said, it was a really good underdog story from the Indiana Hoosiers, who are one of the worst, had the most losses in NCAA football history at one point, and then getting their first undefeated season in 15 or at least 100 years or something like that, and then all of a sudden they're college football champions of the world. So I want to say my congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers for winning their first ever college football championship. Known for their basketball program, really good basketball program. But definitely this takes the underdog story, makes stories like Rudy really good and all things like that. And combined, and of course the 1983 University of Houston basketball team when they have their underdog story. So pretty much a good college football underdog story on that one. Not going to be surprised if Hollywood makes a movie about that. Really good story. So anyways, once again, congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers winning the college football championship. Celebrated with victory. Anyways, let's get the first game, Buffalo and Denver. One of the most wildest wild card division games we've ever seen in a long, long time. And it came with a price for Denver, which costly Bo Nix to miss the entire playoffs because of that injury of his ankle. Second to last play in overtime or something like that. And that being said, it definitely had an impact for Buffalo, which finally, after 9 or 10 years, I've been saying it all along, Sean McDermott's fired. Would he go to another team next year? We'll have to wait and see. That being said, we had that wild interception catch return in overtime that cost Buffalo the game, and they had a couple of pass interference calls in the end. You can argue all of that for Buffalo, saying they got robbed again and all that, but what can you say on that one? And Seattle and San Francisco. Seattle just came and dominated San Francisco in the rear end on that one, and they advanced to the championship game because of that. And of course, my Patriots in the Houston Texans. They played really well defensively. I think Drake May really struggled a little bit in the division game, but he held on. He was calm and collectly about that, so which is a really, really good sign on that. So, to say the least on it, their defense carried away and just bullied C.J. Stroud in that one, and it caused another frustration for C.J. Stroud not getting over the hump to the championship game. So, that being said, this is the Patriots' first AFC Championship range since the 2018 season when they won Super Bowl 53. So, anyways, continuing on with that, and it sets the standard for the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots going to the AFC Championship game. And for the Chicago Bears and the LA Rams, that game was another crazy one as well. We got Chicago with the Hail Mary play, and of course Chicago not pulling it off in the end with the LA Rams. The LA Rams just took it by the defense on that one. They won the game in overtime by a field goal. So, honestly, I like the fact that they get two teams to touch the ball, and at least on their first possessions to score, and the team gets another chance. Honestly, they got to do one more stretch out of that. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just a thought. Just a thought. On the thought process on that one. I think whoever scores first gives a team another chance in the playoffs. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. But that's just... I've seen it in the two overtimes with Buffalo and Denver, and then, of course, Chicago and the LA Rams. In all fairness, maybe just at least, whoever scores. I like the idea of at least two teams get another chance on their first drive and have a team gets another chance. I've been saying that for years. Finally got it. Now I'm thinking another idea to go into that. have whoever scores first gets a team another chance. That's just me. That's just me. I mean, I don't know what you guys thinking on that, so that's my thought process on that. All right, enough of the overtime rant. Then let's get on to my AFC and NFC Championship game picks. Okay, we're going to kick things off on the AFC Championship game. So this is the first one. They're going to start on Sunday with my Patriots and the Denver Broncos. Of course, without Bo Nix, who has the fractured ankle, who has the ankle surgery. So in there, it's a familiar face for the Patriots. It's Jarrett Stidham, who was going to supposedly to be the quarterback for when Tom Brady left years ago. But I think all he started was 3 games or something like that. And I think he's 1-3, 1-2 or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really checked the stance on that. But this is a good feel story for the Jeff Hostetler situation for the New York Giants with Bill Parcells. So in 1990. So, I mean, that's just me process. But the only difference with Jeff Hostetler started mostly the season. And he ran along the way after Phil Simms' foot injury. But the only thing is he only started 3 games. Can it be done? Yes. It can be done. It can be done. And for the Patriots' sake, they only beat Denver once in the playoffs. And that was at home in Foxborough when Tim Tebow was there. And they just stomped the Denver Broncos that day. In Denver, they went to the AFC Championship game twice, and they went in the division game. They cost Tom Brady his first playoff loss that year, nearly 20 years ago. And they went to the championship game after that in 2013. They lost on that one. They went to the championship game in 2015. They lost on that one too. They have not won a playoff game in Denver. That's the scenario on that one. And playing in Denver, but that atmosphere, really a tough situation to go through. Now, I'm not saying the odds are against the Patriots. To me, it all comes down to the injury prone. I wouldn't say injury prone to Bo Nix, but I'm just saying that with Bo Nix's injury, I would have gone a completely different direction that I am going right now. For that. For this game, it is so hard to pick Denver without Bo Nix. And I like Bo Nix. I think he's a really good quarterback. And I'm not a Denver Broncos fan. I'm not going to put any harp on that. I'm not going to say that they're a horrible organization and all that. No. They have a good organization with Sean Payton in there, who came in there from New Orleans, who were just a bad situation, and they came up on a championship game scenario right there. It's kind of like the similar situation with the New Orleans Saints when he first started there years ago. A completely the same situation. But for this game, it's really hard to pick against the Broncos without Bo Nix. I really like Bo Nix. I really think he's a solid quarterback. But only Jarrett Stidham only playing 3 games, who never played since 2019, I think. 2020 or something like that, or 2022. He hasn't played in so long. It's really hard to overcome that. Can it be done? Yes. But doing it that quickly, that's really hard to swallow on that. Now, say what you will, I think this is going to be a scenario that the AFC West is going to be a solid division game. Solid division next season. Because we got Denver, we got the LA Chargers in there. And of course, you got the Raiders are not really doing well, but you got the Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me. But of course, the LA Chargers going in there. Of course, Kansas City is coming back with injuries. Who knows what they're going to be like. That's going to be a division. It's going to be tough to pick next year. Really hard to come by. But for this game right now, I'm going to have to lean my Patriots on this one. Only for that reason alone. Can it be done? I keep saying it. Yes, it can be done. It happened with Jeff Hostetler. So anything's possible. anything's possible. And of course, Drew Bledsoe, when he replaced Tom Brady, that's a different scenario because he was a starting quarterback for a while for the Patriots. But a lot of scenarios can be done. A lot of it. But to say the least out of that one, I'm going to have to pick my Patriots going on the road with Denver. It ain't going to be easy, but I think it might happen. But I think my Patriots are going to go to Denver to win the AFC Championship game over the Denver Broncos to win. On the line, my Patriots are favored by 5 in this game. I'm going to take my Patriots -5 in this game. Over and under, it's 41.5. I'm going to go over 41.5 in this game. And the final score on that one, my Patriots 24, the Denver Broncos 17. I think it's going to come down to a better defense, which is my Patriots on this one. It could be a sloppy game on the offense because of that. I think it's going to be a struggle on both sides of the ball in the offense. I think Drake May, he's going to finally get the momentum going, get a little breathing room, and I think he's going to win the game. With the final score, my Patriots 24, the Denver Broncos 17. The Seattle Seahawks and the LA Rams. Now for this one, the rematch of that Thursday night massacre. So you want to talk about what things been happening since that point for the Seattle Seahawks? It's been on them. They've been on a roll since that game. Since that game, Seattle's been dominating on both sides of the ball since that massacre against the Rams. Now, for the Rams case, they've been up and down, but they've been playing well in the playoffs since that point. With the Rams, hard to come by with them with the playoff experience. But to say the least out of the Rams situation right now, Matthew Stafford's been pulling up an MVP candidate. So is Drake May. But it's not an MVP candidate at this point. I'm not going by that route. But I am going to go by how defensively Seattle's going. That defense has been playing solid football since that Thursday night massacre. Since they beat out the Rams in that wild Thursday night game. And ever since that point from the Rams, Matthew Stafford's been up and down stretch. They've been winning games on the defensive side of the ball. That's good on the deep Rams part. But you're going into Seattle, a very tough environment like the Broncos are, where the Denver Broncos right now. That stadium can be loud at that point. And I don't think the Rams are gonna handle that situation like they did on Thursday night several weeks ago. And I think, finally, that Sam Darnold is going to go to the Super Bowl. He definitely missed the breaking point with the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to go to the Super Bowl with Seattle. And for this game, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks at home over the LA Rams in this game. On the line, Seattle is favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks -3 in this game. Over and under is 47. I'm going to go over 47.5 in this game. With the final score, Seattle 27. The Rams 24. Okay, a great shout out this week. It is Matt the NFL Fanatic. Check him out and the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticator page in the description down below right here. And while you're at it, the soap for the day, check out Dr. Squatch Suds the Sly right there. This is part of the Harry Potter collection. This is a really good one. If you really got if you don't want any grit in this one, this is a really good one. It smells really nice. It smells like a really nice rapid grassy feeling on this one. If you're any Dr. Squatch reviews, you know at the Yoda collection, so you can definitely tell the difference on that one and that one. This is a really good one. It's a really good one to glide around. If you have sensitive skin like me, no grit on this one. So I like some with no grit to relax my skin a little bit. If you have any grit on there, that's fine, depending on which one it is. But, but this was really a perfect one for you right here. So, but yeah, definitely check the Dr. Squatch Suds the slide in this one. This is a really good bit, even though as a Harry Potter guy, I'm more of a Ravenclaw guy. Yeah, not really much a Harry Potter guy lately. I'm not getting into that. But make a long story short, this is a good brick right here. And until then, this is Andrew Warren signing off saying, rock out and eat your breakfast.